My flame burns brighter.
Yo, what is up? It's Mini TV here, coming back at you once again with another video. Today I have a treat for you because today I'm doing a hero spotlight on an offlaner that right now in competitive play is insane. Everyone is picking him, from EG to Vici to TNC. Everyone is picking this hero because it is so good right now. So if you want to win your pubs, pick this hero right now. So the offlane I'm doing today is Doom. The hero is just going crazy right now. He's buffed obviously in the Outlanders patch, but particularly recently the hero is so good. There's so many heroes that are so mobile, like Puck, or you've got the annoying Void Spirit. This hero, you just slap a Doom on them and they're gonna die. So today's gameplay is gonna be all on Doom. So let's get to it. So guys, this is the game that I wanted to show you. It's just like a regular low Immortal game at the moment. I just want to sort of quickly briefly talking about Doom in terms of when to pick him and why going forward. I think like right now you can kind of see how strong the hero is because in competitive play like the Singapore Invitational right now, they're first picking the hero whenever it's available. So I think honestly, if you're playing it in your pubs, first picking it is absolutely fine. Obviously there's heroes that are somewhat good against Doom, and there's some heroes that you are particularly good against. And in this game alone, there's actually both of them. OD is very, very bad against Doom because once he's doomed, like he can't use BKB, he can't use his Q, can't use ulti, and the hero is completely useless. And for a hero that is so strong, to be completely nullified by Doom, Doom's a big counter to OD. The hero that is actually quite good against Doom, though, is Lone Droid, because you don't really want to be dooming him in the first place, because normally it's his bear doing all the damage, so it's kind of a nullified Doom target. You don't really want to be using on him, but also as you'll see in this game as well, the hero is actually quite good against him in lane, because Doom kind of prefers to lane against melee heroes or heroes that are easy to sort of run into and kind of charge. Heroes like Lone Droid, where the hero can run away while his bear is still attacking you, can do a lot of work. So you'll see just kind of like just this here immediately. I'm trying to put pressure onto the Lone Droid, but he's able to kind of harass me and hit me, even though I can't really do much to him. I do a little bit of damage, but for the most part, you'll see in this game that Lone Droid is actually quite good against me, particularly in the lane, but also the mid to late game as well. Because there's no point in me dooming this Lone Droid because really it's his bear that does all the damage. But this game anyway, I'll be trying to doom the OD as much as I can because it's such a perfect doom target to pick up. So just talking about the starting items as we were fighting over these bounty runes, it's pretty much the same every single game. 3 sets of regen, 1 salve, 2 tangos, and then a ring of protection and quelling blade. You need the ring of protection because you have 0 starting armor, so having that 2+ ring of protection is actually very, very valued, to be honest. So really, really important that you get that. As for obviously the CS right now, I'm just trying to get as much CS as I can without taking too much harassment. I shouldn't worry too much about the Venge because it's kind of low range, but the Lone Droid can harass me quite a bit, as you sort of see, but that's why I have the regen. Because I can't really pressure the Lone Droid. If it was a different carry here, I could be playing a bit more aggressive with my Scorched Earth, but for right now, I just kind of want to get my CS and try and go for aggressive plays later. As for the starting skill build, you can kind of do one of 2 things really. For the most part, I've seen a lot of pro Dooms just go level 1 Scorched Earth because it's so good, particularly if you can kind of have a little fight before the runes as I did there. If you get kind of lucky, or if the enemy carries out of position when he's trying to get the rune, you can actually get first blood just with the Scorched Earth. But getting level 1 Devour is good as well. Just getting the gold started in the early region is quite nice to have to start off with. But level 2, definitely go up with Devourer. Ideally, if you can, what you want to be really using the Devour on, as you can sort of see how much damage I'm taking from this Lone Droid. It's actually a really hard lane this game actually to deal with. But what you want to ideally do with your Devour is kind of using the Devour on one of these creeps here, if it's like an ideal creep, so that you can get the sub ability for it. But I wasn't able to really get to the side count without losing too many creeps, so I ended up just devouring one of the lane creeps, as I'm just sort of CSing right now. Because obviously, like if you get a good creep, perhaps like the Purge creep, or sometimes the Mud Golems, if you can get them further up on the Radiant Offlane, can be quite nice. But you're sort of seeing how I'm kind of getting definitely zoned out, particularly because my Skywrath has now kind of left me because he's died and he wants to do something mid, so I'm going to have to cut the wave because there's no way I can come up to this creep wave without getting harassed and potentially died if I get rooted onto the lone droid. So I'm just going to cut the wave, just try and play away from the lone droid. He can't really come and harass me because he's focusing on creeps over here, or I can kind of harass the Venge and get some CS over here. I'm doing okay, really. I'm like top CS in the game right now, which is pretty nice. And this is the thing I'm talking about, the Devourer, so I can get like Chain Lightning. This is actually quite a good creep to get early on. 140 damage on an initial target jump is actually really, really good. It's probably one of the best creeps you can get, seeing as before the pre-nerf on the Devourer, you used to be able to get the Seder Blast, which did like 120 damage, I think, and that was on a level kind of 6 big creep, which I'll show here. So like this used to be 100. Okay, it's 160. So obviously like a lot of damage. I thought they'd nerfed it, but maybe it's a bug on the tooltip. But regardless, so this is the level 6 creep, obviously, and I can only get level 6 creep once I've maxed out the Devourer. As you see, it's creep max level 4566 at level 3. So I can only get that if I maxed it out. But seeing as I can get this Chain Lightning at level 1, 140 damage, actually very good. Obviously it jumped as well, but the damage loss after the damage jump is quite low. But it's the initial damage, and you'll see actually how good it can be. And go from there. So as for level 3, you can do one of two things. You can either get 1 point in Infernal Blade, which you see here, and I'm doing quite a lot of damage on the lone droid, but I can't seem to catch him because he's quite fast, even though he doesn't have boots. He's just a very fast hero, 330 movement speed, whereas I'm 330 with boots, so you see the difference between that. Or you can get 2 points in Scorched Earth at level 3, but I ended up going for 1 in Infernal Blade. Can be really good if you're playing against a melee or a short-range hero like Luna or Morphlin, where the Infernal Blade can do a lot of work, but getting 2 points in Scorched Earth and then Infernal Blade at level 4, or vice versa, however you want to do it, can be good. So pick up the chainmail, like working into my phase boots. Really important, again, because I talked about how low Doom's armor is, so any kind of early armor items is really nice to get as soon as possible. But I think, like, I mean, right now in this lane, like, I know I can't really deal with Lone Droid that well. He's just a really strong hero right now, and playing against him, I'm just going to try and play the lane and get as much as I can out of it without kind of dying and feeding. The lane's pushing into me, so it's okay. You saw myself actually bring myself 2 mangoes as well. It's really important that you have mana on this hero, because without mana you have no presence in the lane, but with mana, obviously, I have Infernal Blade and I have, you know, spells like this that I can do. I get quite close to dying here, but end up surviving just in the end. And immediately I send out myself a south, and this is where the Chain Lightning does a nice bit of work there. It has a really high range actually as well, and able to get the Venge kill. But you're seeing how strong this lane can be, but like I said, I'm not really playing or picking Doom for the lane, particularly in this matchup. Some matchups Doom can dominate and destroy matchups, but against this lane, I'm only really picking this and playing this hero to make sure that I can counter this OD, so this OD does not have a good game at all. So making sure to, you know, ferry out regen as much as you can, really important, particularly now as the offlane, as particularly as Dire, because you don't have the shrine anymore. So making sure that you're always up top with salves, with mangoes. Obviously you have your own personal courier now, so making sure you always have regen is really useful. So level 6 is kind of a big timing actually on Doom, that normally any carry hero, when you get level 6, cannot deal with you, because just, you know, Doom into Infernal Blade into Scorched Earth will kill a carry hero almost full to nothing. This lane in this game is a little bit different, because if I Doom the lone droid, first of all, I probably won't be able to kill him because he's so fast, and second of all, I won't be able to catch up and keep up with him, so my Scorched Earth can do damage because the Lone Droid Bear will be hitting me, so I'll be getting rooted. There's a potential that they can turn on me as well, and this just goes back to the fact of how strong the Lone Droid pig is. I think he last picked the Lone Droid knowing that he was against me in the offlane. And it's really working out for him quite well, actually, even though I'm, you know, doing pretty well. Normally, when I'm picking this hero in other pubs, I'm just destroying every kind of safe lane. But yeah, so normally level 6, really strong. If you can kind of have a support hero with you, just Doom and use your combo and they're going to die straight away. This matchup is a little bit more different. If I want to, you know, use my Doom, I probably need a rotation from my mid, who's a Phoenix at the moment. Kind of a weird mid, but he's playing around top, as we see over here. So I'm going to have to just be patient, really. I'm still getting quite a lot in this lane, even though I'm not doing too much. I get a bit greedy for the range creep and get punished, and there's not much I can do about it, really. And it's just the strength of Venge Lone Droid. I mean, obviously, Venge with the E as well makes Lone Droid attack from further range, so yeah, Lone Droid, strong hero against Doom. But I res up. I'm building into a drums as well. So I have wind lace. Like, you really want to have a lot of movement speed on this hero, because a lot of your early damage comes from your scorched earth. It's like 50 damage a second for 16 duration. You know, insane amount of damage, plus the bonus movement speed you get from it as well. So being able to sort of stay on top of a hero when you're chasing them down, really, really important. Obviously, you know, like I've talked about how, you know, if it was a different carry, I'll be able to kind of zone him out and Doom. But I mean, even Lone Droid is still a little bit scared to play up against me. And this is kind of what you want to kind of abuse, really, particularly when you're level 6. You want to force the carry into the jungle, so you're able to take this the 2-on tower. Really important, this tower as well, in this patch, because they don't have a shrine here as well. So if you take this 2-on tower, you can basically control the whole Radiant jungle, because they have no kind of access points to get it. So really, really important there. So, you know, if you can get level 6, get your support or even your mid to rotate as well to kind of dominate this lane and take the tower. Really, really key. So obviously 10 minutes coming up soon, really, really important. We try and go for a kill on the Lone Droid, and you'll just sort of see how hard it is to really deal with this Lone Droid. I end up getting stunned by the Venge, but you know, I'm getting smashed up by this Lone Droid, end up getting rooted, and there's not much I can really do. Luckily I don't die, but Lone Droid gets close to dying, but in the end we can't kill him. It's just because I don't have Blink Dagger. If I had a Phoenix with me, then maybe we'd have to kill it. Kind of a bad move, really, if we think on in hindsight, really. I mean, we made that move into the Lone Droid, going to try and find him, trying to catch him, around about the 10-minute mark. And it's really important, really, that you don't make big committal moves like this around the 10-minute mark, because that's obviously when outposts come available. I don't really know too much what was happening top, but say we lost top outpost, and then I go and do this move and I get really low, I can no longer contest bot outpost as well, and you need at least one outpost every 10 minutes, because the XP is so crucial. So really, really important. I mean, this is just a bad play from me, really. I should have, you know, right now Lone Droid was jungling, I could have taken this outpost by myself, but now, you know, Lone Droid comes in, I'm very low HP, I can't contest this outpost, I can only take the bounty room. As a result, we lose bot outpost, I assume. Yeah, so Lone Droid takes the outpost, and luckily we do take top. But if I was there, I could have denied, you know, a lot of XP from him. So a little bit of a misplay from myself there. So obviously, I'm still kind of trying to just farm up, really trying to get my drums. I'm still waiting for my Doom to cool down as well. And when your Doom's on cooldown, just trying to, you know, get as much as you can out of the lane, rotate to jungle when you need to, and protecting your tower is kind of all you can do. Still bringing out salves and mangoes. It's a lot better to send that regen from the courier than going back to base, so that I can kind of maximize my time in the lane and stuff. Still doing it okay, but there's a few misplays, and as a result, I'm not doing too well. I had a death as well, so I'm kind of like low-ish. But I'm like just on par with their mid laner, but still lower than the offlaner from Radiant. But Doom's coming up now. I'm kind of trying to communicate with my mid now that we need that +1 to kill the Lone Droid, because without it, we won't be able to kill him. So still sort of jungling a little bit, stack that ancient camp, just trying to be efficient with my time. As I wait for my Doom to come off cooldown, I'll kill this Satar camp, and I end up trying to go bottom to try and have some sort of presence in this lane. And we go from there. But level 8, sorry, I end up maxing Devour. You can get another point in Infernal Blade, because if you actually look at the kind of how it scales up, the max HP as damage is actually doubled, so it goes from 1.25 to 2.5, and the base burn is higher and the cooldown is lower as well. So you getting that sort of second point in Infernal Blade can be good, but as I've mentioned before, I'm sort of struggling to kind of get Infernal Blade on the carry hero at the moment, so I'm just going to max out Devour, and Devour level 2 is actually a big jump as well. I mean, the bonus gold is like quadruple, you know, 20 to 80, and the health regen is more than double as well. So overall, just kind of a nice, both 2 levels, really quite good. He steps up, ends up dying, and with the rotation from the mid as well, we've talked about. We end up killing him, and this is a really important kill because Lone Droid was sort of sitting down here and defending this tower, and I've talked about how important this tier 1 tower is actually. So this kill from the rotation from mid was really important actually, so we could take this tower and end up moving forward and playing the game from there. So really key. But Lone Droid, who's down here, ends up defending it. Perhaps if Felix stayed bot, we could have maybe kind of contested him, maybe killed him again, but he rotated mid, and I end up just running away because there's, I can't do much about this. Got this Lone Droid bear, I think has Mask of Madness already in phase boot, so I just get shredded because I don't have any armor. So even though it was 2 heroes there, wasn't able to do much. So again, just back to jungle. This is an important thing really. So I don't have Doom. So obviously I'm just trying to maximize my farm whilst I wait for Doom, because that's kind of a lot of your hero is playing around this. But obviously if we see up the top lane, if the enemy team is like committing or diving your tier 1, because you're so fast now, I've got my drums, I've got my my Scorched Earth maxed out, you can still be useful even without Doom, but only if they commit so much. Obviously I'm not, if the lane was back here, I'm not TPing over to try and force a rotation or try and force a gank without my Doom, but if they commit a lot, I'm more than happy to TP in, try and be useful, end up getting Infernal Blade on this, slide them down, gives enough time for the S to come in, and we end up killing the Mars, and we kind of end up wiping their fight from top. So still kind of, you can be useful even without Doom. Obviously I'm ferrying out clarities to myself as well, taking the outposts. But now I've got Doom obviously ready and available. This is again with the time I'm looking to make a play, make a gank, trying to set up with my team. Obviously Snapfire comes up here. I'll probably go a bit too aggressive, knowing that my team was busy doing else things on the Mars. I end up getting diving a bit too much, getting stunned, and then OI'd by the Snapfire, end up dying. So a bit of a misplay from myself, maybe a bit deep. Would have preferred or liked some help from my team as well, but it looked like they were busy with Mars, and we ended up getting wiped. So maybe I should have just committed the Doom, but I was low on mana as well, so it's kind of those, awkward scenarios. Probably an awkward place to take a fight in the first place. But seeing as the the Lone Droid to be top, like his job right so far, like this whole game, is Lone Droid has been playing in the bot lane, protecting this tower. But once I know he's TP top, I'm instantly TPing bot to try and take this tower. So we try and trade the top with bottom. OD comes and rotates, but I've got Doom up, and I'm kind of waiting for my team to rotate in so we can kill this OD. Because him soloing, sort of solo TPing down here, he shouldn't be able to do much about it. He ends up banishing me, but we get a rotation and we kill him without me having to use Doom, which is quite nice as well. So so then we eventually end up taking this tower, which is, as I've mentioned before, taking this tower at 17 minutes is kind of quite late, to be honest. I would have liked to have done it a lot earlier. As for level 10 talents, the plus 16% movement speed is, both of them are so good, honestly. 20 Scorched Earth damage, is quite a lot as well. It goes to 85 over 65, so pretty good. But the 16% movement speed is just too much. As you can see, it's basically double because the talent actually increases on there. It says 31% here, and Odie comes back bot. I end up dooming him, and he ends up dying as well, actually. So you'll see, like, this hero can't do anything, can't man up, can't do anything. He just ends up dying. But just quickly going back to the talents though, 16% is more than double. So at the end of the day, if you think about the damage to the movement speed, like the damage would be plus 20. So that would be what, 1/3 of the 65 damage, or a little bit less than the 1/3. But if you remember before the talent, I think it was like full 15 or 16% bonus movement speed. I think 15%, and then obviously with the 16%, it's now 31%. So more than double in percent on the bonus movement speed. So just a bit more value really coming to the movement speed aspects, and seeing as your hero kind of really requires and relies on you being able to be mobile, it's really, really important that you get this talent. So you can be able to stick on the enemy carry, spamming out Infernal Blade, doing damage, etc, etc. So really important that you get this. Plus, you're just able to get away a bit more harder to kill because your movement speed and stuff like that. So pretty good here. They end up trying to punish us for the OD kill. I end up dying, kind of a good egg. We end up killing the Mars, but you're seeing this how strong this Lone Droid is. Like this Lone Droid ends up just killing. It's like it's 3v kind of 2, 3v3, and we all get wiped because lone droid kind of has 2 heroes in the space of 1. So I mean, he played really well at this game actually. I think he was a bit of a smurf because, like, I mean, he's coming up as Divine 4, but he played really good this game. He's like 7 and what is he? Yeah, 7 and 1 this game. Really strong. Able to use all the neutral items as well, which is really nice of him. End up coming mid, just kind of, this is the ability with having the Scorched Earth talent as well. I'm able to just sit on the OD. I don't end up killing him here, but you kind of see I'm just trying to really pressure this OD, make him feel scared to play the map. I end up doing him bot, he died, comes back mid, and I just run him down, force him back to base. And that's kind of what you want to be doing as a Doom. Particularly if you don't have Doom as well, just trying to be annoying on the lane. So picks up Blink Dagger now, and I'm working towards my BKB. So like right now, it's the stage of the game in terms of like your item building, your kind of gameplay aspect of like what do I want to be doing, particularly in the team fights, is I just want to blinking him, doing the OD, and then just seeing what else happens in the team fight. As long as I can get those 2 things off, we will probably win the team fight. Because if it's just the lone droid doing like most of the damage, I'm sure my team will be able to deal with it. But you know, if OD can start, you know, using Sanity's Eclipse, we're going to be in problem. We're going to be in trouble basically. So having the blink and the BKB just allows me to kind of just take OD out of the fight, out of the game. So this is why the items I got, and so I'm going for it as well. I mean, there's other kind of item builds you can go for if it calls for it. Like you can go like really quite tanky, so building into pipe, or just kind of a lot of very tanky items as well. Obviously Shivas is quite good, Crimson Guard, anything to kind of bulk you up so you're kind of like the bulwark and the sort of tank of the team, so you're able to draw a lot of spells on. But in this game particularly, because there's a hero that really needs to get doomed, Blink BKB is the perfect item build for it. Some games, you know, there isn't a perfect doom target, so maybe you can go the sort of tanky build, try and soak up as much damage as you can for your team. But this game is, you know, the OD is the pure doom target that needs to be focused on. So as for like kind of doom creeps I'm really looking for, obviously I had the chain lightning creep to start with. It's quite useful in lane. As for now though, you're looking really for stuns. Ideally I'm looking for centaur, because the centaur stomp plus the blink dagger is like a kind of a mini sort of centaur wall stomp really, and it can make a lot of room and make a lot of space in the team fights. But the hurl boulder is kind of the pseudo stomp really. Just kind of able to make sure I can keep on targets. Anything like that can be useful. We end up taking the kill, end up dooming the OD, and the fight's won because the OD is out of the fight. Everything else is able to be dealt with. He ends up buying back actually, and you know, just dies immediately. And this guy must be pretty tilted because I've just been doing him all game, and yeah, he ends up leaving. So like, he just disconnects, and their team is already flaming him as well. But that's kind of the gist of the game, really. Like, he had a tough game, and there's been. I think he actually picked OD into Doom as well, actually. So it was a rough kind of game for him. He ends up reconnecting, but for the most part, this game's kind of over. And a lot of it is kind of the strength of this hero. You know, just you're taking another core carry out of the fight, and you're making the team, you know, 5v4. So I mean, the game goes on a little bit longer, but for the most part, this game's kind of already over. So this is just a bit later in the game, and I just want to talk about like how dooming like other targets. Obviously, in this case, Odie's already dead, but you know, sometimes you have to kind of doom other targets, but you'll sort of see how dooming this lone droid actually like ends up actually not working out too well. Venge obviously nice swap as well, but end up using doom on lone droid, and you know, if the target you're dooming can just run away, it kind of nullifies the whole aspect of your hero. That's kind of the danger. Like once you've committed doom, you're kind of in. You know, you're committed. Lone droid tries to gets caught actually with a nice dive from Ursa, so he ends up dying. But I just want to talk about the this centaur as well. So I've eventually picked up War Stomp, like the centaur stun. It's a 2-second stun with a kind of a low radius. So having the blink dagger is really important, but it can make a big difference in the team fight. So I end up pinging out that I know that OD is here. The nice Phoenix end up blinking and stunning both of them. Ends up saving the Phoenix egg, and we end up killing the OD as well as the Snapfire. So you know, the War Stomp is really important. But as it's useful as well as if you're dooming. Remember, if I doom the lone droid, having an extra stun to make sure they can't run away is really key. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the replay I wanted to show you about. Heroes Doom Runout is really strong. Like, pick it, you'll win games, you'll win MMR pretty free, because I'm pretty sure this hero is going to get nerfed actually, seeing as how much it was being picked in the Singapore Open Invitational at the moment. I mean, and also he's really good as well. Like, I mean, I end up having a dual lane in this game. Obviously, I played with Skyref, but you know, even as a solo laner, he's quite good because you know you can go boots first and end up cutting waves. And I think when you get a level 2 scorched earth, like your whole scorched earth at level 2, so when you're level 3, will kill a whole creep wave as well. So there's a few kind of tricks that you can do, even if you're a solo laner as well. But that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give it a subscribe and a like, because it does help out with my videos. Also, I want to do a quick shout out as well. I know a few of you guys have been asking me about do I do coaching. I do coaching. I've got a few clients at the moment, so if you guys want to do some coaching from me, just send me like a DM or leave a comment, and I'll get back to you on the YouTube videos, because obviously coaching one-to-one is sometimes better than just me giving you general vague educational videos like this. But hope you guys have liked it, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
I am the midnight of your soul.